Hi, and welcome back to another Python tutorial. We'll be looking more at the Microsoft Rewards automation system, and we'll be using Python, and this will be focusing on the mobile aspect. I'll show you how to complete all three of these, and we've covered the first one in the first part, so refer to that video if you need more reference. I'll be basing this off of that, but of course I will be starting over from scratch just to make sure that we all know how to work through the basics. And I'll also mention what you need to install before attempting this activity. So let's open up Python. I'll be using the basic shell that comes with every version of Python, and I'll also be using the original, I called it video demo since that was the one that I created for the first one, so let's just work off of this. So for the mobile portion, we won't need a majority of this. I will just look over this really quick. I don't think we need a lot of this. I'll even, I'll rename it to mobile. Actually, I won't rename it to mobile. I'll just leave it like this. So I guess the first thing to do is, oh wait, is this right? Yeah, this is fine. Okay, sorry, I was just checking something out. So the first thing you want to do is import the mobile portions, or rather the options package from the library. I believe that's what it is. So actually I can just copy and paste this. So you don't need that part, obviously. So since this is a new library that we're importing, it's going to be .webdriver, just like the other ones. .chrome, since we'll be using Chrome for this, .options. And we're going to import from this library options. There we go. Alright, so we'll be importing options. You can either remove or delete the rest of these. I would suggest keeping them since I still do use a lot of these, and this is still optional just in case you're still wondering about that. But like I said before, I would still keep that just to be on the safe side. Next, we're going to, and Selenium also has documentation for these mobile drafts if you want to do this yourself, so I would refer to those if you really want to gain more insight on this. Let's bring the mobile code. So I'll start the mobile section. Oh my gosh. Once again, I can't really type with the way this is angled around my mic. Anyway, we'll be calling this, honestly, you could just go here. Here, I will show you the page that you can really just copy and paste. And that's what a lot of people do. It's not taking a shortcut. It's actually what people do for the Selenium testing. Now, if I could only find the page, that would be perfect. Oh, there it is. All right, sorry about that. All right, so here's the web page that Selenium has on their site for using the mobile Chrome driver. So since we're using Python, we're just going to, we already have this first statement, so we're going to just take the rest of this and we're going to plop it right in the mobile section. I'll make another space just to make it a bit simpler to understand. Alright, so now that that's here, we're going to be using a Google Nexus 5, which is fine. That's the device name. I'm leaving all of this as is since I still want to understand a little bit more of this myself. We can leave this second statement here the same as well. WebDriver.Chrome options, that's invoking the function. We can leave this the same as well. It's using this to, I think that's a method within it. Yep. Or, sorry, a function. We're using Python. The add experimental option, and we're passing it the two properties, one being the emulator that we set up earlier, being the Nexus 5, and of course the mobile emulation, we set that up as well. So the next part would be the path, which is already set. No, it's not. So the path is actually down here, which is fine. We can leave that the same. But the difference, the first difference that you're going to notice is with the driver. So I'm just going to take that away so you know that we have to start here. So we're going to be making a web driver. That's WebDriver.Chrome. And now this takes two things. First, an executable path, which is defined below, so maybe we should move this above. Okay, there. So first an executable path. Is it underscore? I believe so. And also it's taking, let me move that out the way so you can see. The Chrome options are being equated, oops, sorry, cap locks, with the Chrome options. All right, there we go. I'm glad the basic shell lets you know that when you're closing the right parentheses. What is it when you're referring to a single parentheses? Well, I don't know. Anyway, I think the rest can be left the same, honestly. It's really the driver that manipulates all of this. So that's enough to get your mobile device started. So before we run it, actually I'll run it and close it down immediately just so you know, just so you can see like what is happening with all that. All right, so we run it. And you see that after a couple of seconds, it's going to loop. That's weird. Hold on, that's not supposed to happen. Hold on. And this is a warning, but don't worry, it's not throwing an exception just yet. Or is it? What's wrong with the path? Is something wrong with the path? What am I missing? Oh, sorry. I redefined the driver. See, that's what happens when you kind of just push it all to the bottom. All right, let's try this again. All right, so it loads, which is what I was really just trying to show. And then my shell just starts going haywire, but let's get back on track. After that, most of these can be left the same. Of course, you can still change some of this. Like a lot of the IDs are kept relative since you're just using a mobile viewpoint. So it's not like you're changing, you know, large portions of the CSS or HTML. So of course it's going to be very similar, but we're going to add something. We're going to, let's change the sign in. Like everything else, these can probably be left the same. These are all optional anyway. But let's change the sign in option. So the web page loads, and the first thing it does is it calls the sign function. And what this should do, besides waiting, which is good, is let's have something called more options. Since that is the drop down, well, it's like a side panel. Maybe I should call it side panel. Let's call it panel. Okay, yeah, sorry. Since it extends this the side panel, and we're going to maybe I should just copy so that I don't make any mistakes. Since we're using the shell, it's probably easier just to do it like this. All right, so you're going to extend it, and the ID on this page is M hamburger. Don't ask me why. I just code. I don't know. And then we're going to want to click it. So we're going to call the click method function. Sorry, lots of C# going on in my head right now. All right, so once that's done, I believe the sign in, it's not called IDS, it's called HBS. And I believe I showed you how to find that on the first video, but I can also revisit that. Even on mobile, it does work, and I'll show you that just to be sure. After that, everything else goes through its normal stages. Like I said, I'm not going to put my sign in here, my login, since, you know, that's not safe, but this is fine. So the sign in's fine. Then it returns once you click enter on that stuff. Since with the, you can use this method too. It'll return automatically once you type in your password. This will bring you back to the home page, which is where your program is, which is why I have this sleep method, just to make sure that it has enough time to reload the home page. And that's where this stuff starts. And all of these are actually kept the same. The search bar still has the same ID with the CSS styling. And I send it the keys test, and I press the enter, or the return button more specifically. And since it's doing the mobile search, like I said, the rate's can be anything. You might want to just make it 100, but it can really be anything. I'll leave it at 20, since that's what it was earlier. And this is all optional text like it says here. I'm just filling something in the search bar, and then it finds it again using the same ID. It clears, just so you're not just, it makes it simpler. You don't have to do this. Once again, that's optional. And it sends the keys. And then it goes to the go button. You don't have to do this either. Honestly, I could have just, I will, just for the sake of doing it. I'm saying a lot of what I could do, but let me just do it. So send keys and you press the enter. Let's do that instead. What is it called? Ping. All right, so that's pretty much the same as this, so I'm going to get rid of that. All right, so that's pretty much the mobile portion of this. Okay, let's run it. Make sure it works, and it should. All right, so it's going to extend that, and it's going to sign on, but obviously I'm not going to type that in, so I'm just going to run past that part of the code for a second. Yeah, let's not call sign in. I'm just going to comment that out for now, and let's run it one more time. So now it's going to wait a few seconds since it's still waiting for you to type in your, or not, okay. So it searches for test, waits a few seconds, a random amount of time, it clears it, and now it's searching for 152, waits a random amount of time, clears it, searches 176, here's some anime, it's a lot of anime, I'm guessing these are my recommendations, but okay. Actually, that's weird, that's really weird. These are not my recommendations. Oh, I see, the new Boruto episode. Just, you know what? I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't watch anime watching this video, just incredibly confused, so let's get past that part. So yeah, that's the gist of it. I'll make one final part. No, it's not one final part, I'm sorry. I'll make a third part. It'll be easily the shortest part since you're just finding the 20 points using the Microsoft Edge browser. And honestly, you get 5 points for each search. So yeah, that's like 4 searches. It's super quick. Next video. Yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.